Alright everyone, welcome to a new YouTube video, and I just made this one because basically I got scammed by a prop firm for around $30,000. So yeah, I've never experienced a payout denial before. This was actually my first one. So even if the whole prop firms banning me and whatever, that was just because I was passing challenges too fast and they were banning me before actually getting the funding account. So that's not, I never got payout denial before, so this is my first one and actually trading legit. And just want to make this video to show you, not just expose this company, because you are free to make your own decision if they actually scam me or if I'm in the wrongs, because I will show you everything. But I'm making this video because basically just to show how prop firms really operate nowadays, because obviously you've had all the drama that's happening now with metacodes removing licenses from the brokers, prop firms needing to change platforms, bring C-Trader, DX-Trader, and so on. And just wanted to make this video to show you that most prop firms, especially the newer ones, they're run by people with no experience in running a business, and most prop firms are just ran out from a basement with a laptop. So it's nothing professional, because you can start a prop firm now with, I don't know, $20,000, let's say, and you don't really have funds to pay out people. And yeah, I understand that smaller prop firms, when they start out, they start with no budget, no real capital, so they need to get fees from traders and then pay out winners, because as I always say, prop firms are basically some kind of gambling, some kind of casino. Not a lot of people win, and that's why it's a profitable business. So what's the story behind this? Basically, from the previous video, I said the one that was the raw. By the way, thank you for all the views, it's been amazing. I will for sure post more videos. Just an update after that one. All the support, I think I got like 800 comments or something insane like that. Thank you guys for all the good energy. I'm pretty much back at where I was. So I recovered most of my funding. I did make some more profits. I'm back above basically 5 point something million dollars in funding, which is great. Obviously waiting for the True Forex funds, funding engineer to come back, funding peeps to get my some capital back, but that's not an issue because I think they will be back. But I said in that video that I'm expecting a 30k payout, which I'm not sure I will receive. And some people ask me, why are you not sure you're gonna receive it? And I did not receive it. My thoughts were correct, and I will tell you why. The reason is because, as I said, it was a newer prop firm. When I tried to expand my capital about a month ago, I used this website called Prop Firm Match. So basically, if you don't know it, this is the website Prop Firm Match. It's a website that basically reviews prop firms, adds them, and you can search what account you want to buy. So I kind of use this to get new prop firms to trade with when I didn't know. And I've been banned by a couple of these, maybe when Bespoke, Lark Funding, I know. But then I stumbled upon this one. So this was recently added, the Forex Capital Funds. Now, I don't know if they're gonna make me put this video down. I don't really care because I'm doing nothing wrong. I'm just exposing my point of view. I'm not saying anything, but I want to, as I said, it's not about them, it's about how prop firms are being ran and why it's not okay to go for prop firms that are not that known. So basically the story is, I saw they added this prop firm. The max capital advertised was 600k on Prop Firm Match. So I went ahead and bought 3 200k accounts, which I passed both phase 1 and phase 2. No issues, I did not fail any challenge, so I passed all 3. And then basically, I didn't know that their actual max capital was 400k, so one account was refunded and I got the other 2 accounts. Now, because I looked at their Trustpilot, their Twitter, I saw they're quite new in the scheme, in the prop firm space, so I was a bit skeptical. But I thought, why not just trade and see what happens? Their first payout was after basically 30 days, so it's not 14 days as it said, which is kind of false marketing. But so this is their website. As usually, before I purchase any account, I go to the FAQs and I start looking at rules, because some prop firms now, they have hidden rules which they can use to deny your payout, deny your fund account, and so on. Usually it's around max risk per position, max lot size, holding trades overnight, over the weekend, all of that stuff. So I went ahead and read about the rules. So you see general rules. In activity, you have the daily drawdown, max overall drawdown, 5 minimum trading days, days to first payout is 30 days and 14 days. And yeah, then basically this is not. So other thing is EAs, because I use a trade copier. So here it says they do allow the use of EAs, so there's no issue there. You see, this includes but not limited to copy trading from third-party signals, account management, arbitrage, grid, martingale, and hedging between accounts, which was not the case. It doesn't say anything about trade copying between your accounts. So this was the first red flag. Is there a max lot size limit? No, we do not limit the amount of lots you can place, right? No, nothing there. Also, you can trade hold trade over the weekend. It's scalping, or another important rule. We allow scalping, right? We allow news trading. Can I use trade copiers? You're only allowed to copy between your own. Also, here it is, right? This was actually added recently. So you need to have it as a master account. So this is an important thing, because I wanted to throw these accounts into my main portfolio and take some less trades, have some good returns. But because they do not allow copying from my own personal IC Markets account, then I had to trade them individually. Right? Can you trade news? On the standard challenge, which I got, you can trade. And then basically this one, hedging is allowed, martingale is not allowed, placing a stop loss is not required. And the most important one, do you have a consistency rule? No, we do not have any consistency rules, right? So the rules look pretty much good, no limitations there. So I went ahead and passed the challenge. You can go over here and see in the dashboard. So this was the this was the funding account, phase 1. I think this is the phase 1. It's not even loading anymore. Okay, so phase 1, right? 16k made. You see my max daily loss. I never went in drawdown, passed it in a few trades, GU sells and EU sells. I did have a loss actually, so my first trade was a loss, which was a basically 5% loss. As I said multiple times, that's how I trade challenges. So first day I took a 5% loss, and then next day basically passed with the same trading setup but a better entry. And then I had 3 phase 1 accounts, as you can see, these 3, which I passed because they're all traded at the same time, same positions. See the same thing here, right? And then went ahead on phase 2. Again, didn't give it much thought. You see again, profit target hit. Again here I went into a big drawdown. It happens, but because I'm using the high risk strategy to pass them, you see first day went into drawdown 4%, next day lost 3% more, and then I had 2 winning days where I basically made it all back and pass phase. So I did went into drawdown in the challenge phase, but again there was no rule about that. I can risk how much I want. I can blow the account, buy another one. And this is a problem with most platforms, because let's say it happened to me, right? I fail 3-4 challenges and then I pass the next 2, and then they deny the funding account, saying that I risked too much to pass it, but they didn't have any issues with me blowing the account. So they took the money from there and then they banned me and returned the accounts that were passed. So for that platform, I'm basically down whatever the amount, which is obviously a scam, right? Because if you're losing, they're okay with that, they take your money. If you're winning, then you did something wrong and they don't allow it. And then the next phase is after I passed. So basically after I passed phase 2, because again I didn't really know if they're gonna pay out, I didn't see anything. I basically messaged them on Twitter. You can see when I passed. So I said, hi, I just got funded with 3 200k accounts. Just want to know if I would actually be paid out if I get a payout, or if it was a waste of time. No answer. And then I said, so I know what risk portfolio to use. If my data will be copied or not, I'd rather have transparency upfront. Screenshot here. Also, when I joined the FAQ, it stated max allocation was 600k. I see now was changed to 400k. So what they said is, yes, I see, but our max allocation is 400k because on Match Trader they said it's 600k. So yeah, no problem. And then what they said, and this is very, very important, they said, also let me show you the payouts first. So this was the amount submitted, first account. The second account was 14k. So if we go on the dashboard, on the live accounts, you can see, right, this was my initial withdrawal, 18k. So I made basically 18k, I didn't go into drawdown. Unfortunately, they deleted the accounts, so I cannot show you from MetaTrader, but I did take screenshots. So let me show you the screenshots. This is basically the first one. Get it over here. So this was the first account with around 15k profits. You see I had GU sales, 4.8k, then another GU sell for 3k. Then I did some small trades, and then I took some scalps on GU, lost some on EU, won some. These trades basically I tried to scalp them and close them quite fast because I didn't like price action. And then I finally had the trade that went into profits. You see here EU 3k, 5k for the total. And then the next account, this one was around 16.8k with the commission. So same trade on GU, you can see exact same trade. Then I did trade them differently. So EU again, some you see the losses were quite small, so 1%, nothing big, and then some more wins, some small losses, and then the same EU trades on both the accounts. It's a bit different, but the same basically trade. So the thinking was, because I took the big trades, here I had around 9k profit. I kind of wanted to let it there and sit until the payout date, but then I saw the first payout is in 30 days. So I had a very good opportunity. See, the first trade was 11 January, and then the next trade was on the 25 January. So in almost a week and a half. And that's when I saw a good opportunity on EU. So I took it to make some more profits, because why not, right? We are in the markets to make money. So you can see it's exactly the same here, same trades. Not sure you can see. All right, so now you can see here down the trades, the profit, and then the other account. This was the max allocation reached, the purchase was refunded, no issues with that. And here's the other account, right? 9k day, 1k day, 8k day, current equity. You see the win rate, average risk reward, average win, everything was looking amazing, right? Account didn't went into drawdown, so first trade on the account was a win, and I basically used the profits to get more profits, right? So you see same thing here. Good. So that was the accounts. I just wanted to show it up front. I know it's gonna be quite a long video, but I'm gonna try to keep it shorter. So yeah, that's when they said, we really would like to know more about your trading strategy on your funded account. Now, because they asked me this, I didn't really give it much thoughts, because as I said, I read their FAQs, didn't say anything about risk management, consistency, so I showed you there was no rule about that, so I didn't give it much thought. I thought they're just gonna ask me to see if they wanna B book me or maybe A book me, right? So yeah, they said, we really would like to know more about your trading strategy on your funded account. So again, because this is Twitter messages, not giving it much thoughts. So here they say, do you know per prop firm if they copy your data? And then I said just a few that I know. And then I just said, like, sure, I'll use 1% risk per trade and probably take max 1-2 trade a week. So that was the conversation before I started trading. Now, I didn't give it much thoughts, because as you saw, this is January the 2nd. So the first trade on the account was January 11, I think. Yeah, January 11 was the first trade. So it's been basically 9 days since this message, more than a week. So I didn't give it much thoughts, right? And yeah, and here I said again, and the other two accounts, I can trade without worrying of being paid out. I'll get, so I basically ask upfront, will I get paid or not? Just want to know if there's any hidden rules or anything like that that's gonna deny my payout, right? I asked, and they said it shouldn't be a problem, Andrew. All good, right? No problem. I asked upfront. They said there's gonna be a problem, so I went ahead and traded the accounts. And then I asked again, can I use my master account at IC Markets to copy trades to the funded accounts, or is that not allowed? And then they said should be used as a master account. So this is when I basically decided I'm gonna trade them individually, because I obviously cannot trade copy trades from my main portfolio. And then yeah, the accounts were enabled. And then on January 1st, after I got the GU win, which was around 3-4%, I said, hey, what was the biggest payout you guys paid? I sincerely hope I won't have issues. Now they read the message, they didn't reply. And then on February the 4th, after 30 days, I said I submitted my first payout, which was, as I showed you, this was the amount I was supposed to be paid, 14k plus 16k plus the refunds, should have totaled around $31,000. Now that's a pretty big payout, right? I mean, it's $30,000. It's a lot, right? Basically what most people make in a year. So kind of wanted to get a payout. obviously, because it's my work. I said submitted my first payout, and then they're awesome. This will probably get checked tomorrow. And then I said, I think it's the highest payout for your firm, because I checked their Discord and everything, and the highest I saw was like 10K. So they said highest payout is like 11K, right? Wow, that's really impressive. Thank you. Did have some good trades. After 2 days, they said, hey Andrew, your trades on the accounts have been checked. It came to our notice that the total risk exposure at once has been over 7%, which is not what you have informed us with when we asked you to send your risk management strategy on your funded account. We knew about your aggressive trading style with other firms in the past. It's a trading style that a lot of prop firms have been banning you for, which is not true. All the prop firms I dare them to tell about me. No prop firm has ever banned me for trading more aggressive on a funding account. They have banned me for trading the challenges more aggressive, but never on the live accounts, right? There was no issue there. So this is why we asked you to elaborate the risk management structure that you are going to use on your funded accounts. And guys, please stay until the end of the video, because I need you to read all the messages. For me, it was, I don't know, it was really weird what was happening. And then, as you told us, you were going to risk 1% per trade and take 1-2 trades per week max. Under this condition, we chose to give you the chance to trade funded with our company. However, these conditions have not been respected at all. Please elaborate why you chose to use this aggressive trading style. I was like, all right, they didn't give me any notice. They didn't say that you need to trade this way. They just asked, hey, we want to know about your trading strategy. And I just said what I usually trade on my main portfolio, but then I couldn't use my trade copier, so obviously I traded individually. And then I said I usually run wider stops, because they said my risk exposure was over 7%, and I don't think I ever had that. Usually when I trade accounts one by one, because it's so hard to switch between them, I usually just place my stop loss like whatever, right? And then I watch the trade on TradingView, and then if I decide to close, or as you saw, there were multiple trades closed in like 5 pips drawdown. Those were trades that had a large stop loss, but I just closed them because obviously it wasn't really good. So usually I just enter, because I want to enter the same pricing point. I enter and I place a stop loss like whatever randomly on the chart, and then I usually place it at max drawdown just in case there's a flash crash or whatever, right, to not blow the account. So then I said I usually run wider stops, as I trade multiple accounts is the best way for me to not actually get stopped out. And I have the trade ideas marked and my validation points at the time. Max allowed the trade to go in drawdown is 2-3%, which is true. And then I scalped some positions using the profits I had after the first few trades, because I saw the opportunity there. Because as I showed you in the screenshots right over here, the first accounts were no drawdown, and then I basically wanted to use the profits to try to make more. So that's what I did. I basically, in these trades, I risked the profits. They were talking about these trades because I had a stop loss 30 lots, and I had a stop loss like, I don't know, 30, 40 pips something, and I let the stop loss there and watched the trade. And and then they say, I understand the way you trade like that, that's all on you, but in the end there's a big difference between risking 1% per trade, max 1 to 3 per, and ending up trading with 7% risk at once. Why I chose to trade after we ask you about your risk management. Speaking about your challenges, you risk 4.5%. After that, we gave you the benefit of the doubt by asking your risk management plan on your funding account, on that condition we decide to enable your funding account. Now, they never sent me an email from like the risk department or whatever to ask me about that. I messaged them on Twitter to ask about how, if they're gonna pay me out. They never actually wanted to message me first, right? So here they show so this was exactly the EU trade. So I was entering around here. These were the 10 lot positions. 10 lots, price pointing to drawdown. This is the 15 lot position and another 15 lot. So yeah, the trade did go into drawdown, but again, it was my profits. So basically the account was around break even here, and then it reversed and went the way I wanted it to. So you see, I closed the trades here around break even, and this is why I let run and close them. Very good close. You see, close here at the wick, and then the other trade there. This is no drama. Okay, so here is where I had 55 lots. Again, I used my profits. There was no consistency rule, right? So I risked the profits on the account. I don't understand the issue. Your states there is no consistency in our lot trade. And this is my SFT account, which had the same exact trades, and they paid me. I said the 16K payout was the exact same trades because I traded them at the same time, and they paid me no issue. And then they said, big difference is that we agreed on the 1% risk per trade, and we wouldn't be bothered as it was maybe 2% or something like that, but not 7% It didn't go 7% in the drawdown. Yeah, it went like 3-4%, but we did not agree on anything. So this is what they used against me. They said that we agreed that I will risk 1% and take 1 to setups a week, but we'll go back to that. So here we just go back and forth. Right, drawdown was over 4%, trading so aggressive. If you told us honestly right from the start that you plan to trade using Raceman, we'd have refunded your accounts after the challenge because we know the risk you bring for prop firms. Now, another important thing, all the shady prop firms that banned me, it didn't allow me to trade the final account, they all say the same exact thing. You are a risk for prop firms. Now, my question is for you guys, for everyone watching, what exactly is the risk that I bring to prop firm? Because I don't understand. They didn't say, and I know they're not gonna copy my trades because only 1 or 2 prop firms do, which I know. So 95% of prop firms, they don't copy your trades, so there's no risk exposure there. So then what exactly is the risk that I bring to prop firms? The only thing I can think about is that I may have a big payout, and that's a risk for prop firms. Why? Because they have to pay me out. Otherwise, I don't see any big risk because I'm trading a demo account. It's not connected to any live capital. So what's the risk exactly? That's what I said. So what exactly is the risk? Having a big payout or what? If you A-booked me, you made profits. Obviously. Here I send the FAQ, so no max slot size limit, no scalping, no consistency rules. And then I said, please do payout or moving forward, yeah, whatever. And then they said, big risk is if we can't trust you and if you don't do what you say by risking way more. We didn't A-book you because we wanted to check if we could trust you. Well, obviously not. Now at this point, I'm just like, this is so much bullshit, right? We can't trust you. Why would you trust me? Why am I different than some other guy that got funded 400k and had a payout? How am I different? Because I have a brand and I have a reputation in the prop firm space. I'm funded with like 10 prop firms. Why can't you trust me? Because you're selling a challenge and then you have to pay out the profits that you make based on your rules, right? That's how prop firm operates. So we also lost trust in the future because this isn't the first time you have traded like this. So again, what trust? They're just a company. They didn't say they're going to give me live funds or some big portfolio to trade, whatever. And then I said, so any other trader will be instantly denied payout, or do you also contact them on Twitter and ask them how they're gonna trade? And then they said, no, this is all about you. No, they don't have a trade history like you, Andrew. There are a lot of, and now they try to use this against me, right? There are also a lot of prop firms who blacklisted you, so you couldn't even buy a challenge from them. We gave you the benefit of the doubt, but unfortunately it didn't work out. Now, again, prop firms, the ones that blacklisted me is because I said it so many times because I traded the challenges aggressive. They didn't like that, and they didn't even refund me, so they ended up with money. I ended up with no funded account. I'm not sure what I can say. And then they keep saying, so it's our fault you didn't trade the way we have agreed on. So very important, we have agreed on before we enabled your funded account. We didn't agree on anything, right? I won't call any names. You have got banned by FTM and other big firms. I really thought you would understand the aggressive way. Isn't the manner to trade with props, but just continue doing it. And then I asked because FTM banned me because I posted a tweet about them, nothing about trading, which is true. Right, and then they shared the screenshot. So they said, we really would like, we really would like to know more about your trading strategy on your funding account. Now, when someone asks you this, you just like, well, okay, they just want to know how I trade, right? So I just said, I'll probably use 1% risk per trade and probably take max 1 to 2 trades a week. I didn't give it much thought because, as I said, they just asked. They didn't say if you're not gonna trade 1% risk, we're not gonna pay you out. Or they did not say that you have to trade this. This is why we're enabling your account because you said that. They didn't say anything about it, right? So then I traded the same way in every prop firm. When I go in profits, I leverage them. And then they say, I really don't understand why you think you're not wrong in this case. Now, for everyone watching this, I want you to give your opinion in the comment section. If you stayed, I know this is going to be like 30 minutes video, but if you stayed until the end, I really want to hear your honest opinion in the comments. See if I'm wrong or they are wrong. I just want to hear your honest opinion because I don't really care about the money anymore. They did end up paying me like 6k in the end. So they did pay me like 20% of the profits. So I talk about this all the time, expectations. So I wasn't expecting to be paid out. If I got something out of it, then that's fine. That was not my main money that I need, right? So they keep saying, I'm sorry, Andrew, how could we trust you from now on, knowing about your history and based on what you have showed us? Now again, what's the trust? They're just a company, they're just a prop firm. They sell challenges and then they pay out winning traders. What's the trust? They're not trusting me with their real capital. So then I said, you have lots of options. Reduce my leverage. If they actually don't want me to risk way too much, put a profit cap. I was fine with that as long as they say straightforward. Analyze every trade payout cycle, and if one trade is over 1% exposure, just delete the profits, I don't mind. And then they said, okay, based on the risk at once, all your profits should be deducted from your current account if you approach it like that. I'm like, no, from now on, because you can clearly state, look, you need to risk 1%. If you're not risking 1%, we're not going to pay you out. If they said that from the beginning, I could have noted it down and traded with 1%. But again, it's very stupid, right? Because their website says no consistency rule, no max lot size, nothing, right? So I can put 100 lots on EU buys and make 30K. They should pay me out, right? Because if someone again gets funded and does that, they should pay him out, right? But probably they wouldn't pay and would just, get swept under the rug and nobody will find out. But for me, I don't really care. So I'm making this video to expose how prop firms really operate. And then they said, again, this is because you didn't respect the agreement and you know exactly what we agreed on and decided not to respect it. So are still blaming us for working a month and a half for nothing. That's why I'm most mad. That's why I was mad with FTMO, because I traded for a month and a half and they denied the funding account. So I got mad. Same thing, I traded for a month and a half and I didn't get paid out. So obviously I'm gonna be mad because that's time that nobody's gonna give back to me, right? So they keep saying I didn't respect the agreement. What we agreed on. We didn't agree on anything. There was no agreement. There wasn't even a contract being sent. It was just KYC and then the fund account. So there was no agreement. Their website clearly states no rules, right? No contract, nothing. It doesn't say anywhere. So they keep saying that that message was an agreement between me and them. And that's what they used to deny my payout. So I said, we don't have any agreement, right? You can just read. And then they said, yeah, this is an endless discussion. You reach us to us and you want some transparent, whatever. And then they said, under that conditions, we gave you the accounts. Now you saw the messages. They did not say that, all right, because you're going to trade this way, we're going to enable your fund accounts. They did not say that. They didn't contact me about it, right? So that's the thing. They didn't say anything. They didn't send any email. No, nothing. Just a message on Twitter. Yeah, so they keep going again about this, and at this point I just realized they probably don't even have the money to pay out, and they just keep going back and forth, and I got convinced of that later down the messages, right? So they said if you blew the accounts before you did take more risk than 1%, we'll have just blacklisted you from buying more accounts. Yeah, so we just keep going back and forth. So they say that if we pay you out, we will reward you for your aggressive trading style, which you didn't agree on beforehand. They did not say anything about you cannot trade aggressive, you cannot risk more than 1%, you cannot risk your profits, whatever. The accounts never went into drawdown. Straight profits, use the profits to make more profits. That was it. So the reason we wanted to talk to you on Twitter was because you already messaged. Yeah, true. Now they said they would have sent me a formal email, which I don't believe, right? Yeah. Why it wasn't a commitment from your side, if you things like that, you were asking, especially with your prop firm reputation in the past. What prop firm reputation? I think I have a pretty good reputation with prop firms because I have more than, as I said, I have more than 10 prop firms interviews. So all of them asked me to an interview because I'm a role model for other traders, right? So what reputation do I have? Yeah, shall refund in my opinion? Yeah, whatever they said, they gave me the benefit of the doubt. Again, they keep, and this is the thing that I hate about prop firms, they try to make it about you, that you are a risk for prop firms, you are a risk for the community. It's the same thing that the government uses, right? You are a risk for other people, so you need to stay inside the house. Exact same thing, right? They make it about me, that I'm a risk, that I'm not to be trusted, they give me the benefit of the doubt. Like, what are they saying? I bought a challenge, I passed it, I traded the account, I made profits, they didn't pay me out. So yeah, they said we didn't, we were planning to, if you could honor your risk manager, told us, whatever, like that's a huge difference, that's not how we want to work with you and not going to reward you by paying. However, we'll send you the refunds of your accounts. Now at this point I got pretty mad, right? Because it's a bullshit reason. They send the same thing. And they say, so you are using this text just to get your funding account enabled, knowing you are not going to respect it, and then threaten us after you made profits for not paying you out and share it. In my mind, I'm mind blown, right? Because companies, prop firms that keep coming, they think they are, they are for the people and stuff like that. When 90% of people fail, they make so much money from challenge fees, and then when someone is a winner and makes money, they use everything against him, right? So they said that I used that text to get my funding account enabled, but they didn't say anything about that. They didn't say we're thinking about if we're gonna enable your funding account or not. They didn't say anything like that, right? You saw the messages. I didn't delete any of them. So they just asked me, hey, we'd like to know how you trade. I said it, how I usually trade, and that's about it. So yeah, they say that under these conditions we decided to give you the funding account. They did not say that. Don't you understand that? Whatever. And then you can read the messages. Please know we don't operate this way with traders. Other traders have just the rules on our FAQ and the website. For you, so here's the sketchy part. They said for you, we have added 1% per trade because we discussed and both agreed on this, as this was a condition before we decided to enable your funding accounts. So they are saying that other traders, they can trade freely. So if it was another trader and made 30k profits, they would have paid out, right? But for me, they had added the 1% risk per trade, and we both agreed on this condition. This was a condition before we decided to enable your funding accounts. Now guys, at this point I was like, I thought I'm insane or something, right? So please tell me in the comment section if I'm insane or it doesn't make any sense, right? Because first of all, they say they added the 1% rule just for me. They didn't state it was a rule, first of all. Then they said we discussed and both agreed. They didn't say that we need to agree on this. I just answered the question. And they said it was a condition to enable my fund accounts. Again, they did not say anything about we're thinking about, even not an email, right? After I passed, I just send them the emails just to make sure everything's okay. They did not say anything like, oh, we're deciding if we should enable your fund account or whatever. So if I was gonna fail like 3-4 challenges before, I'm 100% sure they will not have enabled the fund account. They will have just refunded me and gave me like a stupid ass email, right? So here's where I'm going pretty mad, because there was no rule, nothing we agreed on. They keep saying 1% and they say I don't know what to say anymore because you don't get it at all. At this point, it's feeling like I'm talking to a 18-year-old dude that just created a prop firm and wanted to make some quick money. So I just kind of gave up, right? Yeah, so they said that's why they gave me a chance. Again, I purchased the accounts in my own money, I passed them, and then they say they gave me the chance to trade the fund account, which is, guys, it's so stupid, right? Just imagine how prop firms really operate. And I'm not saying all of them operate like this, but the sketchy ones, that's how they do it. Okay. This is such a long video. Yeah, it's ridiculous and you know it. You just wanted to fuck us over. I don't know why. How do I want to fuck them over? I just want my money, right? I made profits, I have very good trades, I want my money, right? So yeah, obviously you both have another view. So what's the solution? Because we don't want to reward this by paying you. They don't have the money to pay me, and whatever. And then this is where I didn't get an answer for like a day. I entered the Discord and I said, hey, where's my payout? And I got a 7-day timeout. And then they said, so I basically sent a message, hey, where's my payout? They deleted the message and gave me a timeout for 7 days. And at this point I was like, yeah, they obviously don't want to pay me out at all. So yeah. And then I said I'd even accept 50% of the payout, just be done. And then that's what they said, because of the proper math, right? You're taking like 4-5% risk per trade on average based in stop loss. Again, trades didn't go into drawdown, except the last one with profits. The payout would be 20% of what is right now, so that means 6k. So that's what we can do because we had agreed on that, and yeah, whatever. Your accounts will also be terminated after, and you don't have to post anything of your payout or something if you don't want. I was like, oh, okay, you want to give me 6k? I said I want 50% of it, or at least 10k. So they say that doesn't make any sense. Why random 1/3 of your payout? We are doing you a favor, and the best we can do is 20% regarding to our agreement and what we talked about. We also add the refunds. Oh, what a blessing. They're gonna give me the refunds, right? So yeah, I'm gonna blur the... Yeah, whatever. So they said, are you accepting the solutions or not? At this point, I just wanted to get over it, get some money, and then I can actually make the video about them because fuck their company, right? And then they said payout would go through Rise, and then here is where it got very... I was actually laughing at this, right? Because they said, you're planning to post anything? And I was like, no. And I said, however, capital is very important to me and I would like to trade. But this was part of the deal, right? To terminate the accounts. We did give you the benefit of the doubt and won't do it again, whatever. Yeah, because I said you didn't make it clear. And then I said 2 days after, because it wasn't nothing, whatever was sent. Then I said, but wanted to ask, so this is before they send the payout. They said, wanted to ask if you are posting anything about us or your payout. So their only thing was if I was gonna make this video or post about their company basically scamming me, which is very funny, right? I said no, but here we are. And then they said, okay, can we post the payout? At this point, I'm like, okay, so we had this whole conversation where I'm such a bad trader. I'm such a risk, I have such a bad reputation, then you want to go ahead and post my payout for marketing. And I said, weren't you banning me? And then they're like, yeah, true. And at this point, I think they just wanted to see if I'm gonna post anything because I didn't get the refunds. And then they basically sent me the refunds and I blocked them. So yeah, this is the whole story. Again, sorry for the long video. I just wanted to make it, not to expose their company because they're not that big. So it's nothing major. Just wanted to point out because a lot of prop firms operate like this. And if you don't have a big audience like myself or other big traders, they're just not gonna pay you out, right? If you use a prop firm that's not that big or doesn't have a good reputation, which is, I don't know, just 5 or 6 prop firms actually have a good reputation and never have any payout deniers, you're just gonna go ahead and waste money. They're gonna ban you and nobody's gonna know about it, right? But because it happened to me, right? Because I have a quite big audience, and I am a very profitable trader. As you saw, I made basically more than almost 10% on the 400K and it's $30,000, which is a big payout. We had all these conversations which didn't make any sense. So yeah, just again, be very careful with what prop firms you choose. Most prop firms nowadays are just ran by some young guys that just want to make some quick money with this online casino gambling that prop firms are. They don't have any business experience, they don't have money. They just count on a lot of traders failing, getting as much money as they can in fees from traders that fail. And then if good traders or some traders pass, they can, as you saw, they can just deny your fund account and refund you. So if you think about it, it's so insane because it's just like a casino, right? Losers, they're allowed to come in to waste money, but if there's a winner there, which is less than 5%, they can choose to ban you and remove you, or just maybe allow you to trade, get a small payout, use it for marketing, which is insane, right? Because prop firms were supposed to be for traders, but instead they're against traders. They want you to fail. If there's a winner, as you saw, if there's a winner like me, passing the accounts, making $30,000, they can just not pay me out and ban me. And for their company, there's no risk, right? Because their money comes from failed fees. So be very careful when you choose prop firms. Don't trust anything unless you can go watch my video where I go over my portfolio, the prop firms that I use that are quite legit. And yeah, sorry for the long video. Hope you enjoyed it. Please, again, leave me a comment with your opinion on the whole situation. I want to know if I'm wrong or right. I don't really care about getting the rest of the money back. I'm not going to get it. I don't really care if they're going to make me get the video down. Again, don't really care it. I'm going to expose. I'm always brutally honest with everything because I'm making money from prop firms. I am a profitable trader. And I know how many people struggle to become profitable traders and how the whole industry is against them. So I'm going to be the voice for those people because I was one of them, one of you guys. I'm going to be the voice for you and I'm going to expose whatever I think it's not okay with this industry. So please leave a comment down below with your opinion and hope you stayed until the end. I'll see you in the next one.